BuildWealth. I'm back at it again. If this is your first time checking me out, I am here to share information and resources that can help you get started with building wealth. All right. Before I begin, as always, I want to make sure I punch in my website so you will know where to find me. The BuildWealthMovement.com have a lot of resources and things you can check out. You'll learn a little bit more about what I'm doing, and check out the blog section. Just I want people to start reading some of these things that I'm putting out, because I think it's a great way to kind of get inside of my brain to see how I look at financial planning. And I think you might benefit from reading some of those. And feel free to share those with the world on social media, with your friends, your family. Just the more you share, the more that I can do to disrupt generational poverty. So that you may share an article, they may never come and talk to me, but at least if they've read it, they will understand that there are some things we can be doing to improve our financial livelihoods. All right, so the topic for this session is my 25-year-old client. Now, this just happened this morning, so was excited about this meeting, and I didn't really know why, but it delivered everything I thought and then some, which is why I'm now talking about it to the world. So, this young lady, good paying job, stock options, and, entrepreneurial in nature, and just very curious about what she needs to do to be wealthy. And those aren't her words, those are mine, but you can tell the mind. And so we talk about, this mindset, and everybody talks about it. It's the millionaire mindset, the money mindset. It's all about how you think for the most part. It's these thoughts around money and wealth and saving, investing, and retirement insurance. It's just these thoughts that drive us to do things that will put us in a better position in the long run. And some of these thoughts are just doing things that are going to focus on the short run. And then we're trying to figure out how to manage everything in between. But she blew me away this morning, and I wanted to come on here and really share her story to a little, to a degree, because I think it's admirable that she's thinking like an adult should think. And let me first say that there are a lot of people who are a lot older than her who they aren't really adulting the proper way. And so she's fortunate enough to have parents where they're providing some support. Does she need it? Maybe, probably not. But she's taking advantage of that family support, but she knows that time is going to run out. And so she's already thinking about, as I transition away from mom and dad for stuff, how do I ensure that I'll be okay? So most people that I've talked to who, let's say you live at home with your parents, a lot of them have not saved money if they weren't helping out with the mortgage, right? A lot of them haven't saved or invested money while they've been living with their parents, because they've just been tricking off money because they don't have any real bills. But she ain't like that. She was like, here's what mom and dad are doing to help me right now. And I have some time parameters where I know I'm going to be on their insurance for one more year. And I was kind of jealous because, again, I think the law is until you're 26, right? So she could be under mom and dad's, coverage. And I was like, that's great. She has healthcare through her job, but doesn't have to worry about that because she's on her parents. And so then we talked about when she needs to get her health insurance. She was already ahead of me. She was like, oh yeah, I need to get the high deductible plan because, I can get that HSA. And I was like, whoa, you're 25 talking about HSAs, what you been reading? And so we talked about the high deductible health plan and how so many people are signing up for the wrong health insurance benefit just because of the deductible amount. But they're not reading all the details about what that entails when you have a low deductible. And just so everybody knows, they actually take more money out of your paycheck. That's the thing you probably didn't know. All you saw was deductible is low. That's for me. But then you get charged for all this other stuff just for basic services. But you got to read your program, read your benefits. So the fact that she said HSA and, knew about high deductible healthcare plans, I was like, all right, okay, this is interesting. And then we talked about where she, her current apartment and how, she was like, oh yeah, oh, by the way, I have renter's insurance. And I was like, yo, stop. Most people don't even think about renter's insurance, but before she got, well, her father does real estate, so she's understood like why he would require his tenants to have renter's insurance. And so when she got her apartment, she got it as soon as she signed her lease. Now I think part of her lease said you had to have it, but had the lease not even said that, she would have had it because of her experience with her dad and his ventures. So I was like, most people don't know that renter's insurance is very cheap. And she was like, I know. So it was just so funny to see this. Like, yo, this is wild that you've already talked about or mentioned an HSA and you're 25. You understood the importance of renter's insurance because, again, you don't own, the place, but like you want to protect your stuff, right? In case something happens. And then we started talking about like entrepreneurship, and she's, working on a business and really starting to chart out like how this journey is going to play out for her, because like most entrepreneurs, it's okay to have a job and work on your business. But then at some point you have to make that decision, and everybody will have to make it. Well, I'll take it back. Everybody doesn't have to make it depending on what you want to do with said business. So for her, loves her job, loves this idea, this business that she's working on. And I said, there's going to be a day where you're going to have to make that decision, but the decision is really going to be up to you, because it really boils down to it's a number. And so we talked about like she's got some decent money already in savings, has some stock that if she needed some money, she could liquidate some stock. So she's got a lot of stuff going for her at 25. And what she said to me was very honest. She was like, I'm just afraid that I'm going to mess it up. And I was like, wow, it hit me pretty hard. I'm like, are you 25 talking like this? So I kept reminding her that I was so impressed with just how she's thinking about this entire picture. So when I talk to people about financial planning, I'm not trying to push you one way or the other with a certain solution. It's just there are a lot of options out there, and you got to start picking and choosing which ones are going to work for you and which ones fit into your plan. So for her, it's looking at the entire picture. It's not about one thing versus this and that and this or that. Is this and this and this and this and this. And let's continue to chart it out and plan it, because it's going to be easier on you over time, because you're just going to make more money, have more responsibility. When you get married, have children, like you start adding all these other responsibilities. And what she said was very critical. She says, I want to be ahead of the 8 ball. Like I want to be ahead. And I was like, yo, that's solid. Like she's 25 and is already planning out this life that she's going to lead. And I was like, I think it would be very dangerous when you're 40. Because 20 more years at the rate you're going, and the way you think about money and wealth and your time, like you have it. Your balance sheet will soon catch up to your thoughts, because you have that mindset of a wealthy person. Take care of your stuff. Get it in before it's, I'm not going to say it's too late, but get in when it's most cost effective. We had an extensive conversation about disability insurance, and I got her to read her benefits through the job. Most people don't understand disability insurance. I'm not going in on it, but I've talked about it before, but I got her to understand why it's important. That's it. Just be open to learning about why your company even offers you the benefit. They offer her life insurance. It's not a lot. And so we had a whole conversation about why it makes sense to get insurance now. She already says she wants to get married, wants to have kids. Real estate is going to be a part of her overall portfolio. So I was like, you're going to have real assets. So you need this in this lifetime. So you can wait. I was like, you can get some now. We can lock in your insurability. Or you can wait however long you want to wait, and it's just going to cost you more. It's just going to cost you more. Like you're going to need it at some point, and then you can't say, oh, I can't afford it. I can't do it. You have to do it then. I said, but if you got a few dollars, let's just get it started now. And then we'll work on the rest of your plan, but let's get started. And she was like, absolutely. I was like, yo, this is blowing my mind because I talk to parents who don't have enough life insurance. Parents right now have multiple kids, have no insurance, or they have very little, or they think they're going to invest their way to protecting their family if they die. I'm like, yo, my client's 25. And I was like, yo, if you want the family, yo, get it now. You can afford it. She was like, bet, let's talk. So this conversation was one that I think if you don't see her, and let's just say I disguised her voice and you just heard some of these key words and the discussion, you wouldn't assume this was a 25-year-old woman. I mean, she is on it. And I don't think she is going to be a very tough client for me because she's already got it. Like, I think I'm going to serve more as an accountability partner to make sure like she does it. And there are going to be a few things that I'll educate her on along the way. But I was like, yo, I'm not going to have to do a lot to help you to achieve these goals. I just want to be along for this ride and support you to the best of my ability. And for things that I don't know about, I'm just going to tell you I don't know. But the fact that she is so far ahead of this game, it inspired me to do more. Because I'm sure there are other 25-year-olds who have good jobs and, you know, their health and all of this and just trying to figure it out. And she was willing to do that. Now, I hope that more people will reach out to yours truly and have a conversation. Like, she's a planning client because she wants to do some real stuff. But if you don't want to do like a planning relationship with me, hit the link in my bio, schedule 15 minutes. That's it. Let's just talk. Let's just talk for a little while. A smaller investment, but get 15 minutes. We can get a lot done if you come and tell me what you want to talk about. I'm gonna give it to you straight, no chaser. I got 15 minutes. So I can't waste time. Let's get to it. You know, if you need more time, you invest in more time. But we keep making excuses as to why we can't do things, and maybe it's because we don't have this vision in our brains of how we have to act or to work and to get what we want. Because we all dream and fantasize about these things, but we're not putting in the work in the physical sense. But my client today, 25, she's on it. So I'm going to keep trying to find people like her because there wasn't any real, I'll say, convincing or persuasion. I told her what I did. She took a look at my website, and now we're working together. And I'm so excited to know that there are people like her out here who understand that a game is being played, and sometimes you're just not going to know all the rules. And somebody like myself, who's an expert in this field, can help you kind of navigate those waters. So I am super pumped up about her and just watching her grow and develop into this millionaire. Like, 'cause she's got it, and the balance sheet is going to show it sooner or later. So, you know, shout out to all the people who are courageous enough to ask for help. Because when you start asking for the help, you'll get the help you need. So if you find yourself in this kind of position where you just can't figure it out on your own, let me know. Hit me up. Hit the link in my bio. Check out the BuildWealthMovement.com. Or maybe you need to hear some more, you know, stories about what people are not doing, and maybe you can relate, and maybe that'll like cause a reaction. So I got a YouTube channel. Sharing stories. It's a diary that I've kept over the years. It's called BuildWealth Observations. Check it out. The link is also in my bio, but check it out. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good. Just take a listen. Just see if you can relate to the stuff that I'm telling, like the world. These are real stories. Like my 25-year-old client just happened this morning. I'm so pumped up that I'm like, who else can I connect with who is going to understand what I am trying to do? I am disrupting generational poverty. And I'm going to do that with each individual that I work with, family, talk, you know, seminar, workshop, whatever. I have a very specific mission. And it's not one specific way you got to do it, but it is going to require you to have a group of people around you who want to see you win. And if Mr. Build Wealth can be one of those people, you just let me know. All right, everybody. I'll catch you next time.